Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 2020 Forward Trust Christmas concert. My name is Mike Trace. I'm the Chief Executive of Forward Trust, and it's my job to start the evening's proceedings off and then to pass on to more talented and better looking people than me. Many of you will know that Forward Trust has a long and illustrious history of running Christmas concerts in venues as varied as Chelsea Old Church and Brixton Prison D Wing. In recent years, we've particularly been taking our Christmas Carol concerts out to the prisons to give a bit of brightness in what can be a tough time for prisoners isolated from their families. Of course, this year, we're not able to go into prisons. We're not able to do anything face-to-face at all. So we're trying to do this as a virtual event. I hope the technology holds up, and I hope you have a good time from the entertainment that you're going to see over the next 45 minutes. We're determined to give you a good time, entertain you all, but we're also determined to send in a positive message to our clients and other prisoners who are not getting access to support and connection and haven't got much all year. It's always difficult at Christmas time for prisoners, but in 2020, since the lockdown right back in March, most prisoners have been behind their cell doors for 23 hours a day, have not been able to access the support and programs that people like Forward Trust provide, and most distressingly have not been able to have visits from their family and loved ones. And that's going right back 9 months now. We've all had struggles with lockdown this year, but just bear in mind and keep a thought for people who literally have not seen anybody they know and love for 9 months. The Forward Trust teams in prisons are doing what we can. We pass in a lot of material to keep people busy. Trying to keep busy for 23 hours a day is not easy behind the doors. Our teams are also in there trying to give support where they can, but obviously they have to do that through the doors. They can't meet face to face with people. And we're also sending in inspirational messages from various people trying to encourage people to keep their heads up in what's a difficult time. But this year has been crushing for many prisoners, and particularly at Christmas, and particularly for those prisoners who were in the middle of programs where they're trying to make recompense and give back to their families and give back to society, but they've been physically prevented from any contact for a very long period. So we hope this event goes a small way to sending in a positive message to those prisoners that we're thinking of them and support them. And obviously it's going to be 45 minutes of entertainment for you, but this is going to be recorded and sent into prisoners on DVD together with a set of printed off Christmas cards. All of you watching this will get an email in the coming days, which will encourage you to send your own messages of support into Forward Trust. We're going to print those support messages off on Christmas cards, and they're going to land to hundreds of prisoners in the run up to Christmas, and I think should be a really good fillip to them in what's a really tough time. So more of that later, but now let's get on with the entertainment. As I say, we've got a rousing show for you. I'm really pleased that the MC for this evening is Jason Fleming. As well as being a TV and screen actor, Jason, less known about Jason is he's been a stalwart volunteer doing really good quiet work in prisons for many years. And he's also been a great supporter to the Forward Trust in our work. So really pleased that Jason's going to guide you through the rest of the show. So hope you enjoy it. Keep supporting Forward Trust. Thank you for your presence.
Oh, God. I just come from Brixton, Nick, and it is freezing in South London. But for all the boys on the wing and all the women on the wing, and for everyone watching, we have with us to start a living legend of British screen and theatre, the great Jonathan Pryce, doing "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetops the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Ah, Jonathan. Thank you, mate. That was lovely. As the slide said, all the money raised tonight will go towards connecting prisoners and their families after the grimmest of grim year. Especially Christmas is a terrible time for prisoners, and this year doubly so. So, last year we were in a bit of trouble, and these guys came in last minute and rocked Downview. So here they are again with their Christmas medley. It is the great and brilliant Camelot Club.
Yeah. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. Fireside is blazing bright, we're caroling through the night. This Christmas will be a very special Christmas, yeah.
Put your hands together now, come on.
We are family.
I got all my sisters with me.
Sing it to me.
We are family.
I can hear you now.
Come on, everybody,
Yeah.
sing.
Ooh, we are family.
You don't know, so we're one family.
I got all my sisters with me.
Put 'em up now, put 'em up now, come on.
We are family.
One da da ding, run, go tell your friends, say,
Get up, everybody, you say. We are family.
let me hear you all loud and clear.
I got all my sisters with me.
One da da ding, run, go tell your friends, say we come back again. Dance off, we jump, play the dance, now go ahead.
Get up, everybody, you say.
Yeah. You don't know, say we come to another Christmas, another year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
One love. We got nothing but love for you people. You don't know.
One love, guys. That was amazing. Thank you. You know, the cancellation of prison visits has been so tough this year. It's something which keeps people's mental health really in check in the Nick. And I really feel for the prisoners when that has been taken away from them and then reinstated, and then the jubilation of the idea they're going to see their mothers or their fathers or their partners, and then it's taken away again. It's been really hard. And when we all get together this Christmas in our small bubbles of 3 families, we've got to try and think of them too. So the next act is another hero of mine, Harriet Walters, who was on my first job ever, and she's amazing. And she's going to do a great poem for us today, and it's called A Festival of Misery and Waste.
Greetings. This is a piece called A Festival of Misery and Waste. I thought I'd cheer you up. It's by A.L. Kennedy and abridged, with apologies, by me. So here it comes again, Christmas. Season of cultural insecurity, financial strain, and family tensions. I'm always puzzled when people react to the savage perils of Christmas with variations on a theme of wounded surprise. As far as I'm concerned, Christmas is bound to be appalling. It is, after all, the celebration of a woman giving birth without anaesthetic in a draughty cave surrounded by donkey poo. And her husband wasn't the father, so you can imagine he'd be really helpful with the hot water and towels. Although he was a chippy, so he'd have had some string, but not clean string. And then it's Bethlehem, it's small, it's provincial, and there aren't any curtains, and this stonking great star has set up residence outside, so nobody's getting any sleep, even though no crying he makes. And then these weird strangers turn up. 3 posh blokes and a group of shepherds who bring lambs. I mean, that's all you need, isn't it? More unhouse-trained livestock. Plus, the flock watchers are probably freaked out and completely panicked and babbling. You know, yeah, there was this light and singing and this flock of angels. A what of angels? A host of angels? That doesn't sound right. Well, okay, a host of angels. Anyway, they're talking about love and peace and be not afraid, but except they're using these great booming voices, so of course we're afraid. Some of the sheep even passed out. Yeah, I mean, we're in a right state still. Angels dropping in and monkeying with your life is not what you expect, is it? Anyway, how's the baby? Not crying. That's a blessing, isn't it? And those 3 kings, of course, they bring along the world's first rubbish Christmas presents, each one weighted with religious significance. Frankincense, well, it would make the cave smell nicer, I suppose, but it's mainly got religious associations. It can also be chewed, like gum, possibly implying that Jesus would be something in religion, or gum-chewing slacker, or possibly a scented candle maker. In any case, nothing practical like a carpenter. And then myrrh, that's used in funeral rites. Well, prescient, I suppose. They could have brought a coffin wrapped up in tinsel. But, I don't know, space, considerations of that would have ruled things out, and there's only so much that you can load up on a camel, is there? And then there's gold. You know, a great big sparkly casket of gold that will ensure you'll be burgled, if not mugged, while you huddle knackered and unarmed in your vile and quite possibly front doorless shelter. Now, does any of that suggest that Christmas would be a stress-free annual celebration for more than 2,000 years? I don't think so.
So, I never thought it would happen with the girl from Clapham. Now, who wrote that line? But the truth is, for me, it did happen with the girl from Clapham, and I married her and had 2 twins, Cassius and Noah, who are watching today. So, thank you for that line and for that song. And next up is the great squeeze legend, Chris Difford, and his mate, Melvin. Who's Melvin? Who's Melvin?
Happy Christmas, everybody. This is Melvin, and I'm Chris. I know we don't look very Christmassy. That's because our stuff got stuck in the post. The Amazon guy didn't arrive in time with our Santa outfits. But I'm sorry. Have a lovely time. Stay safe. Don't do anything silly. Have a lovely time. Send signals from the rocks above the past. The cowboys take position in the bushes and the grass. The score is with the couple, she is tied against a tree. She doesn't mind her language, it's a beating she don't need. She lets loose all the horses when the corporal is asleep. And he waits to find the fires dead and arrows in his hair. And David Crockett rides around and says it's cool for cats, it's cool for cats. The Sweeney's still in 90 cause they got the word to go to get a gang of villains in a shed up at the road. They're counting out the fivers when the handcuffs suck again. They're in and out at once with the numbers on the names. Funny how the missus always looks a bleed the same. And meanwhile at the station there's a couple of lucky lads who swear like as your mother and they're very cool for cats, cool for cats. somebody tells me it's gonna be a cat that's gonna forget. You're asking, has the shed caught fire? It hasn't caught fire. I'm just trying to take us all back to the days of Top of the Pops, when Cliff Richard used to come on, and he always had dry ice. He used to swan about everywhere. It's like he didn't have any legs. So here we are, in our shed, being a bit Cliff, being a bit Top of the Pops. Shape up at the disco and I think I've got a ball. I ask her lots of questions and she ends onto the wall. I kiss her for the first time and then I take her home. Invite her in for coffee and I'll give the dog a bone. She says she likes the disco so she's always on her own. I said I'll see you later and I'll give her some old chat. But it's not like I'm on the TV when it's gone for cats, it's gone for cats. For cats. Happy Christmas.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you to Melvin Duffy, who we now know who he is. And they're both amazing, and we love the dry ice. The next is a graduate share, which is one of the most important parts of this show. And it's with a lovely guy called Victor Lindsay. Now, the recording isn't great at the very beginning, so bear with it. He's in Hull. I'm not saying it's to do with that. I'm just saying he's in Hull. So here we go. Thank you very much. Give it to them, Victor.
Hello, my name is Victor Lindsay, and I'm at the Bridges, and I'm a graduate from the Bridges. I'm a graduate. I've been here quite a while, and I've had a story that I've told time and time over. I've been in addiction for 40 years now, and it just took me to this, time in life and time to realise that I need help, because I never used to reach out for help. Anyhow, I've been on hard drugs, weed, cannabis, everything you can name it at the time. But I went to prison in 2017, and that was my last sentence that I got to bring me to the big one. But during that time at the prison, I went on the drug misuse substance program with the Forward Trust. After doing that, I had graduated there, and coming on to release, I was asked if I wanted to go to a rehab, and I've never been to a rehab before, so I was a bit skeptical. But this lady, Julie Mers, she came there and she convinced me that, it's not what you want, it's what you need, as a support mechanism. So I just took her word and decided to come to the Bridges. And Jason picked me up from my son, who brought me to North London. And Jason brought me to the Bridges, and I started the program, the 12-step program. And the thing is, I never still know that even though I came from prison clean, nearly 10 months, the thing is I didn't change my behaviors, because it's not all about the drugs. It's about what is your behavior. If you take away the drug, you still have a problem. Yeah, I didn't know that until I started to do the steps, which is step 1, identifying the problem, and so on and so on. Well, I went through the 12 steps and I've progressed. And I have also gone to prisons and done my main share. Me and Jason, he brought me to the prisons and do a lot of shares. And it's done me the world of good, because the Bridges is the place that is my backbone. And the Forward Trust, I'm so grateful for the Forward Trust as well. And all the funders, them that donated and do fundraising for the Bridges. And it's all a part of my life now. I'm a part of this and I'm enjoying it. And that's what keeps me focused and clean. At the Bridges, I had so much support, and I still got it, even though I've left the Bridges, right? it was such a nice experience, and I'm nearly 2.5 years clean now, but that doesn't mean everything to me. It means just keep it in the day, because you have to want it and you get it, because if you don't, you're not ready. And my message to anybody who wants to listen is you've got to want it and then go for it. You'll always get support from the Bridges and anything from the Forward Trust. And the Forward Trust is so, they're the backbone of what I've gone through, because they have done me on a bursary, so they paid for my treatment. So I will always try to give back to society, and I'll always mention them everywhere I go. That's my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. That's really what it's all about right there. So it's great to hear from you, mate. Now, the next is a poem that comes, a song that comes from one of our great supporters, James McConnell. And he's amazing, and he's also quite talented. And well, rumour has it that he got it from Agnes, but where she got it from, I've got no idea.
I love my friends, and they love me. We're all as close as we can be. And just because we really care, whatever we get, we share. I got it from Agnes, she got it from Jim. We all agree it must have been Louise who gave it to him. Now she got it from Harry, who got it from Marie. And everybody knows that Marie got it from me. Giles got it from Daphne, she got it from Joan, who picked it up in County Cork, a kissing the Blarney Stone. She then gave it to Philippe, who must have brought it there. He got it from George and Charles, lucky Pierre. Max got it from Edith, who gets it every spring. She got it from her daddy, who gives her everything. She then gave it to Daniel, whose spaniel has it now. Our dentist even got it, and we're still wondering how. But I got it from Agnes, or maybe it was Sue, or Billy, or Ginny, or Willie, or Millie, doesn't matter who. It might have been in the pub, or in the club, or in the loo. And if you will be my friend, then I might. Mind you, I only said might. Give it to you.
That was great. The next act is another great British legend, Griff Rhys-Jones. It's not a piece I've heard, it's not a piece I know, so I'm really excited to share this with you all and for me to listen to for the first time. And it is an alternative ending to an unwritten ballad.
This is a comic poem which I try to sort of foist on people as often as I can. It's not particularly famous, by a guy called Paul Den, who was a screenwriter, amongst other things, and a newspaper columnist. But you have to imagine that it comes from a world of great dramatic ballads, and it's called Alternative Endings to an Unwritten Ballad. So each verse is the end of a different dramatic ballad. I strolled through the dungeons while everyone slept. till I came to the cage where the monster was kept. There, locked in the arms of a giant baboon, rigid and smiling, lay Mrs. Ravoon. I climbed the clock tower in the first morning sun, and 'twas midday at least ere my journey was done. But the clock never sounded the last stroke of noon, for there, from the clapper, swung Mrs. Ravoon. I hauled in the line, and I took my first look at the half-eaten horror that hung from the hook. I had dragged from the depths of the limpid lagoon the luminous body of Mrs. Ravoon. I fled in the storm, through the lightning and thunder, and there, as a flash, split the darkness asunder, chewing a rat tail and mumbling a rune. Mad in the moat squatted Mrs. Ravoon. I stood by the waters, so green and so thick, and I stirred at the scum with my old withered stick, when there rose through the ooze, like a monstrous balloon, the bloated cadaver of Mrs. Ravoon. Facing the fens, I looked back from the shore, where all had been empty a moment before, and there by the light of the Lincolnshire moon, immense on the marshes, stood Mrs. Ravoon.
That was great. So listen, guys, we've got news. The money's been rolling in. It's like Live Aid, but it's like Nick Aid. And we already have £5,000, which is amazing. So keep it coming. I thank those people who've already donated. You can donate 3 ways. There's the link under the video, the link in the pinned comments, or of course you can visit our website, forwardtrust.org.uk. Amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Every prisoner that's incarcerated has a family, and that family suffers immeasurably with the stigma and the society that they're involved in and how they treat them. 200,000 children this Christmas will have Christmas morning without their mums or their dads, or sometimes both. So keep that money coming, because it really helps them, and it really makes it clear how much you care. So thank you. The next person we're going to speak to is Rebecca Mystery. She, in fact, is in charge of those families. It's called the Family Work Appeal that she's about to do. And she basically looks after the people who are left behind. So, Rebecca, do your stuff.
My name's Rebecca Mystery. I am the Family Connections Coordinator for the Forward Trust, and delighted to be here this evening and to see so many people coming along to support our work. The Connections Service is a really vital part of the work that we do at the Forward Trust, and has been in existence now for around 7 or so years. The work that we do really is to support our clients to foster positive relationships within their lives, be that positive relationships with themselves, with family, with friends, with the wider community, with employers, and to really help them to work on that aspect of their lives which we know, as a result of many of the challenges that they've faced, as a result of offending, substance misuse, poor mental health, are often quite damaged and difficult. So one of the things that we do within the Connection Service is support our clients to navigate some of these challenges that they have around relationships. For many of our clients, the idea of working with us to reconnect with family members is really important. It might be something that they've tried to do themselves and not been particularly successful at. It might be something that they're really worried about doing. Many of them feel quite nervous about reconnecting with family members. Many of them need a lot of help to do that. And we work with a team of wonderful family connections practitioners who support our clients to try to reconnect with important people in their lives. And often, they need help navigating a professional network of support. So, working with social services, they might need help working with family groups within the community or schools, or lots of different third-party organisations. So, it's quite a vast and large area of work that the practitioners that work for the Connection Service are involved in, and it's tough and it's difficult work, and it can be emotive, and it's emotive for the clients, definitely, and sometimes it's really emotive for some of the workers as well. We know that as a result of improving relationships or maintaining contact relationships for clients, reoffending in itself can be improved by up to 39%. So, there's lots of statistics out there that prove that helping clients to maintain contact with their family while they're in custody can be really, really beneficial, obviously for the family and for the client too. And we've got some really, really passionate and committed family connections practitioners that we work with. We've got some really wonderful testimonies from our clients that kind of evidence that the work that we do with them to help them to reconnect and rebuild has been really life-changing. This has been a really, really difficult year for everybody the world over, and connections have been really, really fraught for lots of people. When you're in prison and you're living in a lockdown within a lockdown, as many of our clients have been, it's been a really, really difficult time. So clients have needed a lot of support around trying to connect, around trying to keep relationships alive, trying to find new ways to be in touch, and trying not to get too disheartened when they can't see people in real life. So we hope to do more of this work in the future. We hope to continue the work that we've done this year and to build on that, and to strengthen the ties for the clients that we work with and to support their families. So thank you very much for coming along this evening.
Hi guys, the next guest I'm very excited about because she was part of my inauguration and my journey at Brixton Prison. We went into D-Wing together. That was the first time I've been into D-Wing at Brixton, and she's amazing and she made me feel brilliant and confident. And she's got a great title at the Forward Trust. She's Head of Recovery. She's also a young mum in a previous life, a young mum with a kid in prison. So she knows all about what we've just been talking about. And when we make the film of the Forward Trust coming soon, Muir will be played by Reese Witherspoon. Give it to us.
Hello, I'm Julie. I'm the Head of Recovery and Housing for the Forward Trust, and I'm also in recovery from drugs and alcohol and have been for the last 17.5 years. And I'm also a graduate of the Forward Trust programme at HMP Send. When I started the programme at Send back in 2001, I was 21 years of age, and it was a really difficult time. I'd been given a 3-year sentence. I didn't have custody of my child, my son, who was 3 at the time. He was being looked after by my mum. I was very far away from home. it was difficult around, you know, the contact with my family was minimal. They kind of shut the door on me because my using was so chaotic. It was detrimental to them and obviously to my son. And I found myself on the treatment program in the women's prison and surrounded by lots of other women that had been through the program. And it was probably the first time in my addiction, which started very early on in my early teens, that I felt like there was a way out. The support that I got from the counsellors as I was doing the programme, there was lots of family intervention that went on, contact with my mum, my son. They came to visit and the team helped support that. And I had a family day with my son in HMP Send. He came and spent the whole day with me, which was just fantastic. And it was the first time I'd ever spent any time with him clean and sober. And it was heartbreaking, obviously, at the end, but during the day I got to sit and colour in with him. We got to go down to the food hall in the prison and it was all arranged. It was all done really well, and we got to have a dinner and I got to cut up his food for him and pour him a juice, and then we got to go into the hall and we played sports. And then at the end of the day, obviously my mum was waiting to collect him, and that was the key start for me really in my recovery. And it really kicked me into knowing that there was no other option for me than to be clean and sober, because this little boy, this beautiful little boy, needed me. He needed his mum, and I needed to be his mum, and I needed me to be clean and sober. And that's really what the Forward Trust program did for me. And you know, now 17 and a half years later, that little boy who came to see me is now 22, and he is about to be a policeman in the Met Police, so he's going to be PC Muir. You know, that is for me beyond anything I ever imagined all them years ago when I was in prison, and he was a small child. You know, he's very much he's got a fantastic life now, and I really do see that down to me breaking that cycle of addiction very early on in his childhood. Life's really great. You know, I've got him, he's doing his thing as an adult, and I've got two other little children, 7 and 4, and this is just the real precious things that recovery has given me. It's given me the ability to make choices. It's given me the ability to be a good mum, you know, to be a good partner to my other half, to be a good daughter to my mum and dad, and to be a good sister, and actually to give back to the other men and women that are still in prison, that really need support, you know, need support of people like me that have been there in my experience, and they just need to be told that actually it's all right, there is another way, and we are here to support you, and we are here to look after you. So I just want to thank everybody that's came tonight to the carol service. It's a really big deal for us. You know, we put this on, and I know the men and women in particular, when they're sat in prison and they know that people really believe in them and they believe in us as a charity and they donate money, it just, you know, it makes you feel that you are worth it and you are worthy, and you really want to do well and have a new way of life. So yeah, thank you to everyone, and Merry Christmas.
All right, Gov, it's a fair cop. We don't want any trouble. Oh, PC Muir. I know your mum. Anyway, the good news is it's not £5 anymore. It is £6. So we are really getting there. It's amazing, and we'd like you to give via the Big Give Christmas Challenge that was mentioned at the end of the video. As I said before, you can donate through the link under the video, or the link in the pinned comments, or visit our website. But please give everything you can, As we said, it's £20 for a person who's watching now, or £30 for a couple, or £50 for a big group of you, or as much as you want to give. And you can give for the rest of today, all night, and for the next 7 days. Julie Mill, that was lovely. And next we have a classic at Christmas. It's Silent Night, and it's by Mara Carlyle. But you have never, ever heard a Silent Night like this one. Well, Mara, I've seen some things in my time. That was amazing. Still, I wouldn't have liked to live next door to you when you were learning. But amazing, amazing. Now, next is a beautiful poem read by Harriet, who you've already met tonight. And it's a poem about recovery. And here it is, lovely Harriet.
An autobiography in 5 short chapters. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It takes forever to find my way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I still don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. It isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's habit. It is my fault. I know where I am. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk round it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street.
Thank you, Harriet. So, guys, we're coming towards the end. It's been an amazing evening, inspiring stories and poems and music. And all that's left for me to do is to hand you over to the Right Honourable David Bernstein, who will do the Serenity Prayer. And we are hoping to hit 10 grand tonight. So thank you, guys. Lots of love.
Jason, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's helped make this evening possible. I hope you've been entertained, amused, and moved by what you've heard, and you'll understand why I feel so proud to be associated with this amazing charity and the work it does. And as you've heard many times already in the last 40 minutes or so, it's been a grim year for all of us, but particularly for those in prison and those that we help. 78,000, nearly 79,000 people were in English and Welsh jails last Friday night, according to the Ministry of Justice website. And it's some 200,000 children and family members affected by their absence. And the money that you're donating tonight, and thank you so much for that, is going to help us keep the family connections going that are such an important part of resettlement and rehabilitation, and giving anybody, however low they've got, the chance to turn their lives around. That's what we do at the Forward Trust. So thank you to Jason, thank you to Jonathan, to Harriet, to Chris and Melvin, to all the other performers, James McConnell, to Victor and to Julie, who shared their personal experiences. And it's been a moving and wonderful evening for all of you, I hope, as much as it has for me. So it remains just for me to end the evening, and it's really audience participation time. I'm going to lead out with a prayer that is very important to a lot of us in recovery, used by many of the 12-step fellowships. And after that, we'll go seamlessly into a little bit of music, again with the Camelot Club, who started us off musically at the top of the evening, something that I hope you'll all sing along with. But first, perhaps you'll join me in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you all so very much. Good night.
I hope you've enjoyed all the entertainment today, and we're wrapping things up now with a sing-along, Feliz Navidad. Are you ready? Join in.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y Feliz Navidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y Feliz Navidad.